Now on Coast TV News.
Ready for traffic relief. The long-anticipated Millsboro Bypass is set to open. Why it is supposed to improve the flow of traffic in one of Sussex County's most congested areas.
Lewes fees continue.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes.
While it is now free in many coastal communities, how Lewes's paid parking could affect its businesses.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It's a cool, crisp start, waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Fall officially arrives this afternoon, but will it feel like it? My full forecast in minutes.
Maryland rebate rollout. We look at the upcoming announcement that is hoped to bring some relief to energy bills.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025.
Plenty of people happy this morning after NFL games. Washington fans, Chris and our producer Alyssa with the Eagles. You, our director Howard, not so much. Sorry, Howard.
Sorry, Howard. Yes. Pleasantly surprised after yesterday. I was sweating. The last 4 minutes of that game, I was sweating. But our kicker redeemed himself, so I was happy for that. But yeah, I was a nervous wreck.
I know Chris was too. Chris is a big Eagle fan, and Chris didn't look good there for a while.
No, waiting for that offense to wake up there in the first half, and boy, what a second half it was with those blocked kicks, and it was an exciting end to what was an exciting day of football. Ocean View, we are waking up to some temperatures, some cool temperatures, especially away from the coast this morning. We're at 64 Ocean View. Wind's pretty calm there. Visibility hasn't been an issue. Most of the fog has been well off to our west. We're down to 51, Long Neck 55, Georgetown 52, Harrington to 53 in Salisbury. Clear winds. Clear skies, calm winds, that allows for those temperatures to fall. You see that wind flow out of the east-northeast continuing off the ocean. Under the influence of high pressure still through today, so that's going to keep us sunny and dry. This high is going to slide off to our southeast, and eventually a warm front's going to be lifting through the region tonight. So fall arrives today, but not going to feel like it. Warmth and humidity is going to be building in Tuesday through Thursday, and then we turn unsettled mid to late week as a cold front pushes through the area and may stall out over the region late in the week. So that cool start, pleasant conditions, sunshine gives way to a really nice morning and afternoon as temperatures rise to 73 by around your lunchtime, and will likely top out in the upper 70s to around the 80-degree mark. We'll talk more about the rain later on in the week, coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. Our top story this hour: after decades of planning, the North Millsboro Bypass finally ready to open. Happening today, Deldot says it will hold an official ribbon cutting. That's at 10:30. The road will fully reopen on Tuesday. The bypass, it's an over 2-mile connector that stretches from US 13 to State Route 24. And the goal is to ease congestion in downtown Millsboro, especially with beach and truck traffic.
Starting today, Nassau Road will close for over a month. This is a part of a multi-year project to revamp Route 1 around Minos-Conway Road. Take a look at this. Deldot's plans show 2 roundabouts, one at Nassau and New Road and one at Janus Road, so you'll be able to cross Route 1 without going on the highway.
Happening today, Georgetown Council set to hear strategies on how to protect memorials in the circle. This after there was some damage from being hit by cars and concerns that the memorials, including for fallen officer Chad Spicer, would have to move elsewhere. Now, we have images of when the Spicer Memorial and the one honoring former Chief Harvey Gregg were knocked down. The Georgetown Circle Committee is recommending the memorials get placed further from the road, closer to the fountain, and that recommendation comes after months of review.
What the committee has done is moved from their original locations, which were in harm's way, obviously, and kind of offset those from the traffic as it enters the circle. So just that in and of itself will add a layer of safety, not only to the monument, but to the people who may be visiting the monument.
And that committee is also recommending that plaques and memorial bricks get placed in the circle. The recommendation goes in front of council tonight at 7.
New in Delaware, lawmakers are back in Dover today for an extraordinary session called by Governor Meyer. According to Meyer's proclamation, the Senate is expected to review the nomination of a new secretary for the Department of Veterans Affairs and a judge for the Court of Common Pleas. Also on the agenda, appointments and reappointments to key boards across the state, including the State Board of Elections and Board of Parole. Meyer says the Senate is expected to gather today at 3 o'clock.
New in Rehoboth Beach, a longtime inn could soon get replaced with new homes. The city's Board of Adjustment will consider plans from the owners of the Canal Side Inn on 6th Street to tear down the commercial property and build 2 single-family homes. According to the owners, one house is designed for the family's primary residence and the other would go up for sale. In a letter to neighbors, the couple said the project would reduce traffic and parking pressure, add green space, and better match the scale of nearby homes.
New this morning, in most of Delaware's coastal communities, paid parking enforcement has ended for the season, but not everywhere. Lewes is the last city still charging for parking, with beach parking running through September 30th and downtown meters active through October 14th. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and Fenwick Island all wrapped up on September 15th. One person CoastTV spoke with thinks the extended enforcement impacts local businesses more than drivers.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes, because if they're going to go to Dewey for the 2 weeks in September or Rehoboth, they're getting the revenue and not Lewes.
And the cost for beach parking is $2.50. In downtown, it's $1.50.
A possible tornado rotation was reported in Denton, Texas Sunday night, and the reports of damage came shortly after. As you can see, check out your screen. Several buildings were toppled or overturned. According to reports in Denton County, the power remained out for much of the area. The Denton County Office of Emergency Management activated their Emergency Operations Center and set up a mobile communications command center to help with the city of Sanger. That's an area north of Dallas. Later this morning, we will find out how much of a break Marylanders are getting and a rebate to help with their energy bills. Governor Wes Moore is scheduled to announce this at a press conference in Randallstown. A plan that was approved this year reportedly will give Marylanders about $80 per household. Money's coming out of the Strategic Energy Investment Fund that was created under legislation passed by the General Assembly. A second round of rebates is also expected. That's in the early part of 2026.
New overnight, it's been 12 days since right-wing activist and influencer Charlie Kirk was killed during a Turning Point USA event on the campus of Utah Valley University. Sunday, tens of thousands gathering in his home state of Arizona to say goodbye. The 31-year-old activist and influencer is remembered by friends, fans, and colleagues as a Christian and conservative role model. Kirk's widow, Erica, forgave the man accused of killing her husband and promised to grow their message and mission.
Every part of our work will become greater. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
President Trump says he will soon posthumously award Kirk the Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump back in the city after speaking Sunday at Charlie Kirk's memorial. The nation faces more tough questions on free speech.
Yeah, Kirk was a staunch advocate for free speech protections, but in the wake of his death, we have some new concerns.
This from the suspension of ABC late-night host Jimmy Kimmel to new rules at the Pentagon. NBC's Alice Barr shows us the debate happening now across the country.
This morning, pressing questions from both sides of the aisle about free speech in America, as tens of thousands said goodbye to the murdered conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a public memorial in Arizona.
I will miss him so much because our marriage and our family were beautiful.
Many, including President Trump, honoring Kirk's commitment to promoting free speech.
It's the right and inheritance of every free American, the greatest legacy of the Enlightenment, and among the most treasured achievements of civilization. We will defend it at all costs.
Now, in the wake of Kirk's assassination, there are new concerns about censorship, thrust to the forefront after ABC indefinitely pulled its late-night host Jimmy Kimmel off air after his comments about Republicans' response to Kirk's murder that led to criticism from the FCC chairman and suggestions of potential action involving the network's license. President Trump has since made similar comments, lawmakers in both parties weighing in.
The FCC was wrong to weigh in, and I'll fight any attempt by the government to get involved with speech.
Censorship and what we're seeing from the federal government only serves to further divide us and make us less safe.
It comes amid new Defense Department restrictions that journalists can no longer gather or report information, even unclassified, without authorization from the government or risk losing their press credentials. The National Press Club calling it a direct assault on independent journalism, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth argued the press does not run the Pentagon, the people do. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening tonight, the Ravens close out Week 3 of the NFL season when they host the Lions in a Monday Night Football matchup. Both teams dropped their opener and both won their Week 2 games, including the Ravens' 41-17 rout of the Browns. Kickoff tonight at the stadium is set for 8:15.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, warm welcome. We'll show you what is next for 2 new commissioners in Rehoboth Beach.
Also celebrating culture, we'll show you all the festivities from this year's Festival Hispano in Georgetown over the weekend.
And TikTok deal details, why top U.S. leaders say a deal could be coming soon with the popular social media platform. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Good Monday morning, Del Mar. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend as we take a live look into Laurel. Sunrise at 6:49. We have a temperature of 52 in Laurel. Winds have been calm. Skies have been clear, so it's a nice, cool, crisp start. We're up to 57 by around 8 a.m., 68 by around 10 this morning. We're at 51, Harrington, 55, Milton, 66, Indian River Inlet, and temperatures will really spiked on Friday. Stuck out like a sore thumb there. We really overperformed. We went down to 75 there on Saturday, 72 yesterday with that backdoor cold front. High pressure building in, keeping us sunny and dry for this first day of fall, which arrives officially at 2:19 this afternoon. And as you see in the forecast ahead, it's not really going to feel like it. We have the autumnal equinox beginning. The Earth's axis is tilted neither toward or away from the sun. And we have equal amounts of day and night as you see that sun pointing directly at the equator. And you can see temperatures today, well, we're in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. A gorgeous start to the week, and it trends even warmer in the days ahead. We'll talk about that, plus some unsettled weather to round out the week. Your full 7-day forecast is up next in minutes. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Traffic alerts for Sussex County, starting with a road closure in Lewes happening today. According to Deldot, lanes along the southern part of Mulberry Knoll Road, just east of Route 24, will close for paving work. You can see that area right here on your screen. The agency says that project is expected to last through mid-October.
And in Milton, new lane closure hours are coming to Route 1 and Route 16. Deldot says starting Wednesday, October 1st, Route 1 will see daytime lane closures Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Overnight closures 7 days a week from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. On Route 16, daytime closures will run every day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Overnight work also occurring, and Deldot says these hours will continue through the off-peak season until the end of April 2026.
The Trump administration says a deal to keep TikTok operating in the United States should be complete in a few days. A group of U.S. investors will own 80% of the app. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Saturday under the proposed plan, the United States will have control over the social media app's algorithm.
People are noticing a difference if they get their vehicle repaired. The latest Consumer Price Index report shows a jump between July and August. And overall, car repairs are up 15% from a year ago. Analysts say the tariffs are mostly to blame. Trump administration has slapped fees on both imported autos and parts.
Well, it's a cool, crisp start to our Monday. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures getting near 80. We trend even warmer in the days ahead, and then we turn unsettled, all thanks to a sold-out cold front. We'll talk more about that and your forecast ahead coming up in the full 7-day forecast right after the break.
Time is 6:18, and we're getting a live look at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewes. And first alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is back with us. Chris, last full week of September, and we're starting, at least in the afternoon part, with some toasty temperatures.
Yeah, we're going to be up near 80 today, and we're definitely going to be in the 80s tomorrow through Wednesday as a warm front pushes through the region tonight. But starting off this morning, it's pretty cool, crisp out there, especially away from the coast for 52 Long Neck, 52 Redden, 51 Harrington to 53 Salisbury, 63 Ocean City to 66 there in Rehoboth Beach. We've had this persistent northeast to east wind throughout the weekend, and it's pretty light this morning with winds upwards of 9 to 10 miles an hour. Dew points are pretty comfortable at the moment in the 50s and 60s, but that's going to be changing as we go into the overnight. Warm front's going to be lifting through, so we're going to be in that humid to very humid range through midweek as a cold front approaches late Wednesday. Clear, dry, pretty calm for most of the East Coast. We see scattered showers well back off to the west. High pressure in full control as this high slides off to our east. A warm front will be pushing through tonight. This afternoon, 77 Lewes, 79 Milford to 80 Georgetown, 77 Easton. See high at 80 in Salisbury to 79 in Snow Hill. There's the clear skies through the afternoon. As we go into the evening, as that warm front pushes through, that will allow for some clouds to push through the area. Could wake up to some patchy fog early Tuesday morning, but by the afternoon, it is warm, mid to near upper 80s away from the coast. And then we could see an isolated shower midshore on points northward late Tuesday night, but I think most of the area is going to stay dry, and I think we're going to stay pretty dry at least through Wednesday night. That cold front approaches, scattered showers and storms really Thursday through Friday as that front stalls out. So there's the front approaching late Wednesday. Could see a spotty shower or storm. Then a better chance of scattered showers and storms comes Thursday as that cold front stalls out over the region Friday. Then we may see an area of low pressure develop along that front. So Friday looks like the most unsettled day of the three. But then the good news is the models want to get this system out of here by the weekend, so trending a bit drier into the weekend. Hurricane Gabrielle, Category 1 hurricane, expected to intensify into a major Category 3 through Tuesday. Good news is with this storm, it's going to miss Bermuda and the eastern seaboard, push out to sea, so all we can expect is some higher than normal swells and a dangerous risk of rip currents through the week. We're at 80 today, a marvelous day as fall arrives this afternoon. 61, partly to mostly cloudy skies with some patchy fog, mostly sunny for our Tuesday. Even warmer with highs reaching the mid to upper 80s, and we're still going to keep that warm air in play Wednesday through Thursday, but we do turn much more unsettled, especially by Thursday as that cold front approaches and stalls out over the area. Scattered showers, periods of rain into Friday, but the good news is we are going to get that system out of here by the start of the weekend with temperatures falling back into the 70s.
Thousands of people gathered Sunday in Georgetown for the 31st edition of the Festival Hispano. North Race Street was filled with vendors, food, and people wearing their country flags, all celebrating Hispanic culture. Local and international artists also had the crowd dancing.
It feels incredible to be here surrounded by your own culture, your food, your people, your language, especially in a time like this to show everyone we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here and celebrate ourselves.
After covering all event expenses, the organizers donate to local nonprofits.
More to come this morning on CoastTV News Today. Warm welcome. We'll show you the big job ahead for 2 new commissioners in Rehoboth Beach. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Caution on our beaches. Patrols along the Delmarva coast are saying goodbye for this season, and Sunday was the last day on duty for the Ocean City Beach Patrol, and that was also the case in Rehoboth Beach. Lifeguards say use caution when swimming as the beach patrol season comes to a close.
Rehoboth Beach now has 2 new commissioners. Chris Galante and Susan Stewart were sworn in Saturday following the city's election last month. Galante is an urban planner, community activist, and businessman, and he says those skills will add value to the Board of Commissioners. Stewart, a lawyer and a member of the Planning Commission, says she knows what the city needs.
I think that is something that I'm going to bring to the Board of Commissioners to be hyper vigilant and transparent in our communications. We should not be doing deals behind closed doors.
The answer to how you don't violate FOIA is you don't violate FOIA. I think Taylor Tedder's doing a spectacular job, and I think it's critical for us as a city to get behind him so this investment we made can pay off.
According to the city's website, Galante and Stewart now enter into a 3-year term. And it will be fall at 2:19, but today is going to feel like summertime, especially if you're headed to the beach today. I think you have good weather.
I know, and we start the week, Chris, though, with some concerns about rip currents.
Yeah, we have Hurricane Gabrielle way out in the Atlantic, and that's causing kind of an increase in swell activity along the eastern seaboard, as well as that threat of rip currents. Live look into Lewes, 55 degrees there, a gorgeous start, nice cool crisp start to our Monday here on Delmarva. Winds are pretty calm throughout the area. So Ocean City, Fenwick Island starting off in the low to mid 60s, on our way to highs in the mid to upper 70s. So gorgeous afternoon there again with those waves anywhere between about 3 to 4 feet this afternoon. We're up to near 80 in Lewes and Rehoboth under mostly sunny skies. Cambridge beginning in the upper 50s through the noontime hour. We're at 72, and we'll see Crisfield temperatures in the mid 70s under mostly clear skies. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalis Federico. We'll have a look at that warm up in the 7-day forecast, as well as some unsettled weather down the road. We'll talk all about it coming up the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, Lewes still charging for parking, why some locals call for coastal consistency.
Also, possibly moving monuments, that and other recommendations in Georgetown. That's up for review today.
And decades in the making, we'll tell you what Deldot has planned to celebrate the opening of the new Millsboro Bypass. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Parking season stretches. We have the mixed reaction in one of the few remaining coastal communities that has parking fees in place as we head into fall.
Memorial safety move, the next steps in Georgetown's efforts to protect the memorials in the circle after recent car crashes caused some damage.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It's a cool, crisp start, waking up to temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Fall officially arrives this afternoon, but will it feel like it? My full forecast in minutes.
Canal side conversion. The changes that are getting reviewed today for a long-time Rehoboth Beach fixture on the west side of the city.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 22nd, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
And the time is 6:30 a.m., meaning in less than 8 hours, we can officially say fall is here.
We might be confused because Chris is talking about very warm weather. Chris, this weather has been all over the place September. It's been cool, it's been warm. We're back on the warm trend now.
I know, right? Well, we're going to see a pretty nice afternoon near 80 today, but yes, it gets even warmer as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Gorgeous start, though, to our Monday as we take a live look into Ocean View. Bright blue skies there, sunrise at 6:49. We're seeing a temperature there of 65 degrees. Dew points are still in the 50s and 60s, so it is still very comfortable out there. Visibility, fog, not really an issue this morning, but you can see away from the coast with the clear skies and calm winds, we have fallen into the lower 50s. 52 Laurel, 53 Salisbury, 52 Lone Neck to 55 in Milton. There's those calm winds I've been telling you about, but you still see some winds at the coast anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the east-northeast. But we are clear, we're dry, no precipitation to speak of, still under the influence of high pressure, but that high is going to slide to our southeast, and we're going to see more of a southwesterly wind develop tonight through tomorrow. But a gorgeous start to our Monday, pleasant and cool, 56 degrees. Plenty of sunshine through the afternoon through Lewes, Rehoboth, Dewey Beach. Temperatures generally in the mid to upper 70s at the coast. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. High risk of rip currents, all thanks to Hurricane Gabrielle well out in the Atlantic. So we're going to keep that high risk of rip currents throughout the week. A surge of warmth as a warm front pushes through the area tonight. Humidity levels are going to be rising. Then we track a cold front late Wednesday that will bring a chance of showers and storms with a better chance of rain Thursday through Friday as that front stalls out. We'll talk more about the rain chances later in the week coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
All right, thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour: after decades of planning, the North Millsboro Bypass is finally ready to open. Happening today, Deldot says it will hold an official ribbon cutting at 10:30. The road will fully open Tuesday. The bypass is 2.4-mile connector that stretches from US 113 to State Route 24. The goal is to ease congestion in downtown Millsboro, especially beach and traffic.
Starting today in Lewes, Nassau Road will close for over a month. That's part of the multi-year project to revamp Route 1 around Conway Road. Take a look at this. Deldot's plans show 2 roundabouts, one at Nassau New Road and one at Janus Road. And once complete, you'll get to cross Route 1 without ever having to go on Coastal Highway. Happening today, Georgetown Council set to hear an idea on how to honor memorials in the circle.
This after being hit by cars, an outcry on the idea that the memorials, including for fallen officer Chad Spicer, would move elsewhere.
Yeah, we have images of when that Spicer Memorial and also the memorial honoring former Chief Harvey Gregg were knocked down. The Georgetown Circle Committee is recommending the memorials move further away from the road and closer to the fountain.
The committee is also recommending that plaques and memorial bricks be placed in the circle. The recommendation goes in front of the council tonight at 7 o'clock.
And it's been 12 days since right-wing activist and influencer Charlie Kirk was assassinated during a Turning Point USA event on the campus of Utah Valley University. And Sunday, tens of thousands gathering in his home state of Arizona to say goodbye.
NBC's Jay Gray shows us the statements from friends and family.
Part church service, then part political rally. 95,000 or more gather in Glendale, Arizona Sunday, pulled there by Charlie Kirk's message and to share one of their own.
I believe everybody should have the right to free speech and not get shot for it here in the United States in 2025.
The 31-year-old activist and influencer, remembered by friends, fans, and colleagues as a Christian and conservative martyr.
Charlie was not silenced. His movement is only beginning.
A message echoed as a half-dozen members of President Trump's cabinet and Vice President J.D. Vance, one by one, stepped to the stage, followed by Kirk's widow, Erica.
But I will miss him. I will miss him so much.
Wrought with emotion, she shares the pain of her loss, leaning on her faith, she says, to forgive the man accused of killing her husband, and promising to grow their message and mission.
Every part of our work will become greater. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
President Trump closing the more than 5-hour memorial.
I know I speak for everyone here today when I say that none of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk, and neither now will history.
His eulogy, at times spinning into a discussion of his administration's initiatives and swipes at political opponents,
the radical left lunatics,
including former President Joe Biden, before calling Kirk's widow back to the stage to a standing ovation as a banner of her late husband is unfurled from the stadium's rafters. Jay Gray, NBC News, Glendale, Arizona.
While the massive summer crowds are gone, the warm weather is starting to go, but what's still here paying to park in Lewes.
Yeah, and CoastTV news reporter Emma Aiken shows us the price you have to continue to pay in Lewes and for how long.
Parking. You do it every day, but in some places, there's a price to pay, like in Delaware coastal towns throughout the summer. Paying for parking at Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Bethany Beach, and Fenwick Island is now over. Fees in those areas run May 15th through September 15th. In downtown Lewes, parking fees of $1.50 per hour run through October 14th. Dominic Beningo says he doesn't like paying, but that it's worth it to visit Lewes.
If it's going to a good place, if it's for cleanup, or better security or what have you, I think it's okay.
It's not just downtown. Over at the beach, fees are still going there too. Feeling the sand and hearing the waves will cost you $2.50 per hour through September 30th. Local Lou Ward says the city's parking schedule should follow suit with the other beach towns.
I think it's depleting some revenue from the shops in Lewes, because if they're going to go to Dewey for the 2 weeks in September or Rehoboth, they're getting the revenue and not Lewes.
Even as the season slows down, the watchful eye on your license plate doesn't in Lewes. Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Staying in Lewes, 4th Street will close between Savannah Road and Market Street. This is for utility work, and that's according to the Lewes City website. And then after that, the project will continue with single-lane closures for up to 2 weeks. The city says trash pickup will continue as usual during this project. In Rehoboth Beach, a longtime inn could soon get replaced with new homes. The city's Board of Adjustment will consider plans from the owners of the Canalside Inn on 6th Street to tear down the commercial property and build 2 single-family houses. According to the owners, one house is for the family's primary residence, and the other will go up for sale. In a letter to neighbors, the couple said the project would reduce traffic and parking pressure, add green space, and better match the scale of nearby homes.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Trump could meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky this week. And according to the President Zelensky, they'll talk on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Their meeting comes as President Trump says he will defend the Baltic states and Poland from Russia if necessary. That's after Russian incursions into NATO airspace. Those include flying jets over Estonian territory Friday and drones over Polish and Romanian land earlier this month.
Sooner or later, if this kind of provocation happens, we're going to have some kind of incident that will prompt a crisis. And that crisis will force President Trump, I suspect, to think about which side they want to take.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty says an attack on one member state is an attack on all of them. It requires alerting the UN Security Council, and that group is holding an emergency meeting today at Estonia's request.
And we got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, reminder of festival road closures. We'll tell you what areas in Salisbury you may want to avoid as organizers start to break down the Maryland Folk Festival.
Also, Rams rejected, down 19 points in the second half. We show you how the Birds came back to remain undefeated on the season.
And successful town-wide celebration will show you how locals in Greenwood came together over the weekend. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We're seeing some clear skies out there. Cool start to our Monday, 52 in Laurel. We have the clear skies, calm winds. That's allowed for temperatures to fall pretty low through most of the interior portion of the peninsula. We're up to 56 by around 8, 68, mostly sunny skies through 10 a.m. See 66 for Rehoboth, 67 Bethany, but we're at 54 in Millsboro to 53 in Salisbury. Well, temperatures, well, we've been all over the place. We soared to 90 on Friday, and then when that backdoor cold front dropped us back into the 70s over the weekend, we were at 72 yesterday, still under the influence of high pressure as fall arrives this afternoon. And we're going to see a warm front that's going to be pushing through the area tonight, and that's going to allow for some warmer temperatures to build in. As we take a look at the peak foliage, see those leaves begin to change over on the peninsula. It looks like usually late October through early portions of November, and then the coastal plain generally mid to early portions of November. As far as today goes, plenty of sunshine, temperatures rising upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We'll talk more about the rain later on in the week in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, heads up for drivers in Georgetown. Prepare for overnight lane closures on Route 113. Deldot says starting Sunday, September 28th, southbound lane closures on 113 at Aero Safety Road will be closed overnight as crews work to extend the existing turn lane. You can see that area right here on your screen. The project is expected to last about 2 weeks, weather permitting. And Greenwood is celebrating its successful Greenwood Day over the weekend. The town says everyone came together for music, food, and fun, and a town-wide yard sale.
The rematch tour for the Eagles continues this season. Last week it was the Chiefs. Yesterday in South Philly it was the Rams. When they met in the playoffs in January, there was snow. Yesterday it was a much warmer situation. For a good part of the game, it got hot in the pocket for the Eagles' Jalen Hurts. Third quarter, he is hit hard by Jared Verse, fumbles the ball. It sets the Rams up inside the 10, and they take advantage. Matthew Stafford swings it to Kyron Williams. Touchdown Rams, and the Birds are in a 26-7 hole. Late third, Hurts to A.J. Brown, and we have a comeback brewing. Eagles now down 26-21. That's where the score stood until here in the fourth. Hurts to Devontae Smith. It's a touchdown. The Eagles take the lead, but they did leave a lot of time there for the Rams, and they get in position to kick the game-winning field goal. Joshua Carty has his kick blocked, and there is Jordan Davis. He's rumbling to the end zone to clinch an Eagles win. The comeback is complete, 33-26. The Eagles are 3-0, heading to Tampa Bay next week. We go to the D.C. suburbs. There's Marcus Mariota starting in place of the injured Jaden Daniels. He ran for a touchdown, later would throw a touchdown pass in Washington's 41-24 win over the Raiders. The Burgundy and Gold improve to 2-1 on the season. And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, live at 3, Parkside takes on Pocomoke in boys soccer, and then at 10:30, you can catch the final score. And on the DSM Plus app, along with that soccer match, at 4, we have Sussex Tech visiting Seaford in boys soccer. Then at 5, High and Queen Anne's go at it in football. 5:15, Sanford faces Tatnall in girls volleyball.
Movie news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Do you want to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey?
Maybe he was right to hesitate. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell made just $3.5 million in its debut weekend, far below studio expectations of $10 million. The drama, which opened to poor reviews, cost a reported $45 million to make.
I found the dramatic structure that I felt would really work for a movie.
Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan is the new president of the Directors Guild of America. He was elected at the DGA's national convention. Nolan has been on the union's national board since 2015 and a member of the guild since 2001.
There you are. I was looking everywhere for you. I'll be your escort this evening.
The latest film in Studio Ghibli Fest 2025 is Howl's Moving Castle. The 2004 supernatural classic from Hayao Miyazaki is in theaters now through Wednesday. More info and tickets at ghiblifest.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good Monday so far here along coastal Delmarva. But if you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's in store. If you're planning those shoulder season local summer visits to Ocean City, you're going to need somewhere to stay. We've got the perfect place for you. Also, fall is right around the corner, and you're going to want to experience all the scents and all the flavors that fall has to offer with our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. All that fun and so much more is coming your way today at 4 on Coast Life. See you then.
Well, it's a cool, crisp start to our Monday. Plenty of clear skies and sunshine through the afternoon as we get those temperatures near 80 degrees and gets even warmer in the days ahead, believe it or not, as we'll see a rise in humidity as well. We will talk unsettled weather mid to late week coming up right after the break.
The time is now 6:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning, and we see a beautiful sunrise there, Chris. It's going to be a warm start to fall today.
Yes, it is. Believe it or not, we're going to see temperatures get up to near 80 degrees this afternoon, and it's going to trend even warmer through the week. As we take a live look into the temperatures across the area, 55 Milton, 51 in Redden to 52 in Laurel. So a nice, cool, crisp start to our day. Calm winds for most of Delmarva. We continue to see that wind flow, though, out of the northeast. Dew points right now holding in the 50s and 60s, so it is very comfortable out there. But that's going to be changing. Unfortunately, a warm front's going to be pushing through the area tonight, and we're going to be in that humid to very humid range through midweek. So we're going to continue to be under the influence of high pressure. This high is going to slide off to our southeast. Plenty of shower and thunderstorm activity extended from St. Louis through the Ohio River Valley. Cold front that's going to be impacting us still well off to the west. Live look into a beautiful Laurel there, just a few high cirrus clouds. 52 on our way to 68 by around 10 a.m. Highs today near 80 in Laurel, 77 Lewes to 79 in Milford, 75 Cambridge to a high of 77 in Princess Anne. Winds, you see the wind shift out of the southwest through the overnight and into Tuesday, all thanks to that warm front. And we'll see some breezy conditions on the coast tomorrow, upwards of 20-25 miles an hour, but it's going to be a warmer wind as we push into Tuesday. So plenty of clear skies through the afternoon. As that warm front lifts through, we'll see an increase in clouds for a bit. Some patchy fog to start early tomorrow morning, but by the afternoon, mid to upper 50s, and it will feel a bit more humid. Could see an isolated shower late Tuesday night through early Wednesday morning, northern portions of the peninsula, but I think most of the area stays dry. But as we go into Wednesday night through Thursday and Friday, that's when things change. Cold front will bring a chance of scattered showers and storms Wednesday evening through early Thursday morning. Scattered showers and storms through Thursday, and then that front may stall out over the area, and then an area of low pressure develops along that front as we go into Friday. Hurricane Gabrielle beginning to see an eye clear out there, and this is going to intensify into a Category 3 hurricane through the day today. And good news is it's going to stay away from the coast and just give us a threat of rip currents through the day and through the week. 80 this afternoon. We're at 61 overnight, 84 into our Tuesday, and then a high of 85 Wednesday. Late shower possible there, mainly Wednesday night, and then a better chance of scattered showers Thursday into Friday. But the good news is it looks like we dry out just in time for the weekend. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. The Maryland Folk Festival has now come and gone in Salisbury, and according to festival organizers, the event brought together about 250 of the nation's finest traditional musicians, dancers, craftspeople, and more.
One of the most amazing things about this festival is some of the fusion music that has been here. So there's been lots of salsa dancing, as well as reggae, funk, hip hop, all kinds of different acts.
And this was the third time in a row that the festival was held in Salisbury. Now, even though the festival is now over, we're expecting to see several road closures still in places across downtown Salisbury. So let's talk about some of those. According to the city's website, some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th.
The time is now 6:53, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is our good buddy Benny. You can see he's just as excited to welcome fall as some of us are. Benny and his festival fall getup were submitted to us by Tammy and Seaford.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yep, scan that QR code top center, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:56, so we are going to take another look at our forecast before it's fall.
Yeah, Chris, we're just hours away from the first of fall.
Yeah, it actually feels like it this morning. We're lower to mid-50s across the area. Nice, cool, crisp start. By this afternoon, we'll see temperatures rising mid to upper 70s, near 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Warm front pushes through tonight. We're up to the mid-80s Tuesday through Wednesday with an increase in humidity. Cold front late Wednesday through Thursday, giving us a chance of scattered showers. And Thursday, Friday look rather unsettled with a good chance of rain, and we could see some heavier rain into Friday as well, but we do cool off into the weekend with temperatures in the 70s.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Again, fall arriving just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. And until we see you for Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m., have a great Monday morning, everybody.